All right, so are you ready to dive into one of the most historic moments in cricket history? I mean, we're talking India getting bowled out for 46 runs in a test match.
46? That's just unheard of.
It's their lowest ever test score on their home turf.
Yeah, and it's the fourth lowest in the entire history of Test cricket.
Wild, right. And you know what makes it even crazier? This wasn't just some fluke.
It wasn't just one of those days where nothing seems to go right.
Exactly. This was like a full-blown dismantling, like watching a surgeon at work.
Yeah.
And the surgeon holding the scalpel.
Matt Henry.
The conditions in Bengaluru were ripe for the taking. Overcast skies, swing. And boy, did he ever exploit them.
It was a masterclass in swing bowling, pure and simple. 5 wickets for 15 runs. Those figures are phenomenal anywhere in the world.
Incredible, right?
But to do that in India, against that Indian batting lineup,
Conditions that aren't exactly known to favor swing bowlers.
that's what makes it so extraordinary.
The article I shared, it described how Henry was practically laughing after Conway took that catch to give him his first wicket.
Oh, I read that.
Almost like, I can't believe this is happening. Kind of the laugh.
Yeah, well, it's not like he hadn't earned it. He was bowling brilliantly even before that.
Oh, totally. Beating the bat, finding the edges.
But the wickets weren't coming. And that's the thing about Test cricket, isn't it? You need that mental fortitude.
Absolutely. To
I
just
know.
keep going even when the breaks aren't going your way.
Exactly. He could have easily gotten frustrated, but he never let it get to him.
You just kept plugging away.
Persistence, skill, a little bit of luck, and boom, you get a performance for the ages.
It's the perfect storm, isn't it?
Ah.
And hey, it wasn't just Henry putting on a show.
Oh, right.
William O'Rourke, his Canterbury teammate. The man was a menace out there.
4 wickets for 22 runs.
The batsman must have been seen double.
You know what's interesting about O'Rourke? He's still very early in his Test career, but he's already making a name for himself.
Oh, for sure.
And at 6'4", his height gives him this natural advantage.
Oh, yeah. The extra bounce he gets must be terrifying to face.
Absolutely. You combine that with his pace, and suddenly you've got a recipe for disaster if you're a batsman.
I love that part in the article where Henry specifically calls out O'Rourke's height. He says, his height's the X factor, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really shows the respect between those two.
Yeah.
They both had their moments, but it was obvious they were feeding off each other's energy.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this victory even more impressive, you know? It wasn't just about individual brilliance, it was a complete team effort.
100%.
Tim Southee's experience, that amazing catch by Devon Conway,
Well,
everyone contributed.
exactly. Because at the end of the day, cricket is a team sport. And this match was the perfect example of that. You know, this actually reminds me of a match I saw once. But actually, before I get too sidetracked.
This whole situation with New Zealand's bowling attack really makes you think about their depth, doesn't it?
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
We're here talking about this historic performance,
Right.
and it happened with Trent Boult completely out of the picture.
Wow, yeah. We almost forgot about Bolt for a minute there. And that's saying something.
It is, yeah.
We're talking about a world-class bowler choosing to step back from Test cricket.
And usually you would think that would leave a massive hole in the team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But New Zealand, they just seem to keep rolling.
That's the thing about New Zealand cricket, isn't it?
It's like they've got this endless supply of incredible pace bowlers.
A small nation producing these giants of the sport.
It really makes you wonder, what's in the water over there?
Mm.
Seriously, what are they doing right? Is it the coaching? Their system? The conditions?
It's probably a combination of things working together.
Like what?
Well, they're really good at identifying talent early on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they nurture that talent from a young age.
Makes sense.
And then you've got some fantastic coaches over there, no doubt about it.
Definitely.
And the conditions in New Zealand, they definitely lend themselves to developing swing bowlers.
It's almost like their rugby, right?
Totally.
This small island nation producing these absolute legends of the game.
There's a certain grit, a certain determination that seems to run deep in New Zealand sports.
I love it.
But speaking of grit and determination,
Yeah.
let's talk about Matt Henry.
Oh, yeah. Back to Henry. What a match for him.
This could be a real turning point in his career, don't you think?
He's always been seen as a solid, dependable bowler. But now...
Now he's a match winner.
Exactly. And not just in any match, but on one of the biggest stages in cricket.
He's broken through to a whole new level.
It's going to be so interesting to see how he handles everything that comes with that.
The pressure, the expectations.
Absolutely. It's a lot to shoulder.
There is, but you know what they say? Pressure can create diamonds.
And this is already shaping up to be a breakthrough year for him in Test cricket, even with missing that Sri Lanka series earlier.
It really makes you wonder, Could this be the start of something even bigger for Matt Henry? Could we be looking at a future all-format star for New Zealand?
It's definitely a possibility.
Someone who can dominate in tests, ODIs, and T20s. He's certainly got the talent for it, and the temperament.
But it takes a special kind of player to excel in all three formats.
It's incredibly demanding.
Physically and mentally.
And with the way Henry's bowling right now, the demand for him is only going to increase.
Exactly. So how do New Zealand manage that?
That's the million-dollar question.
Can they keep him fresh? Can they prevent him from burning out, especially now that Bolt's focusing on the shorter formats?
It's a tough balancing act for the selectors.
I bet.
They need to balance player workload and longevity.
Sure.
But at the same time, they need to put the strongest possible team on the field.
It's a tough job, for sure.
It is, but it's one of those good problems to have, right?
True. Shows you how strong New Zealand cricket really is.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about Henry's incredible performance, the team effort, and what this all means for New Zealand's bowling depth. But what about Matt Henry himself? What does this mean for his future?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Can he keep this momentum going, become a true mainstay for New Zealand in all formats of the game?
It's a challenge, but I think he's ready for it.
He's certainly got the talent, the temperament.
And after that performance in Bengaluru, he's got the confidence, too.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that.
Confidence is huge in this sport, especially at this level.
Absolutely.
And what's exciting is that he's not just a one-trick pony.
What do you mean?
He's not just relying on his swing bowling.
Oh, right.
He's showing everyone that he can adapt his game as well economically, take wickets, even when the conditions aren't ideal for his style.
You're right. He's got a lot more up his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
So to all our listeners out there, keep an eye on Matt Henry. This could be the start of something truly special.
Couldn't agree more.
And there you have it. Another deep dive in the books. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the world around us.